a place few have heard of, a tiny little empire known as Balzac.
Parker, Harry Osborn. You're gonna want to see this.
No, so Adventure Time, like, from what I understand about what makes that show really good, is it references everything.
Yeah, I mean, I get the feeling of that.
But it doesn't reference it in a way of, like, calling shit directly out. It's referencing it oh, fuck, someone explain this to me. It is an amount of reference that we get because, like, the adults remember the 80s stuff, and it has that, it looks at things as a nostalgic value without calling to specific nostalgia things.
I mean, and I get that, and I appreciate references just as much as the next guy. I really enjoy them. As a matter of fact, it's one of my favorite things, to be rewarded for your knowledge in another area. Mm-hmm. But I can't get past actually watching the show, because the show doesn't interest me enough to stay around for the messages, if that makes any sense.
Is your son old enough to get involved with it yet?
I mean, he would watch it like he watches any other cartoon.
Oh, okay, but he's not, like, flipping his shit over anything at the moment.
I mean, you know, he's been watching, of course, Avengers still a lot. Young Justice is on Netflix now.
How much of that are you dictating? Like, you weren't
none
watching
of it.
This crap.
I don't choose it for him.
Nah.
I do try to not let him watch shit like SpongeBob, because I could give two turds about that.
Thank God.
I don't. Homie don't play that.
Homie don't play that. What? Why
so
not?
to speak.
Why don't you play that? He needs his... I have no idea. I honestly don't know what makes SpongeBob so good.
It doesn't do, like, I've never liked it. I know, I'm sure that it feels the same spot for people at this time period as Ren and Stimpy. You know, kind of fit for people of our generation. Of course, I didn't really like Ren and Stimpy all that much either.
Well, I think I didn't like it too terribly much as well, but I think it was built more for a teen base, and who saw it was a kid base, which is, if you look back at our cartoons, like, man, those things are fucked up. All the shit we grew up with in the 90s, like Rocko's Modern Life.
Oh, yeah.
That's just an acid trip. Rugrats, like, one or two of those episodes looks like an acid trip. Literally, it's like Tommy fucking dropped some acid and said, alright, I need to find me some Grateful Dead shit, and went on a walk in the woods, naked. Actually, I think that happened in an episode, minus the dropping acid, but everything looked like it. What was another one? All Real Monsters?
Oh, see, I never watched All Real Monsters. I mean, I know of it, I just didn't watch it.
Because, like...
I watched Rocco some, Rugrats, Doug.
Of course, Doug.
Yeah. Ren and Stimpy I watched every now and then, but it really wasn't... I don't know, it really wasn't something that was all that great to me, I guess you could say.
I can see that. Like, Wienerville came up during that time. Do you remember that show?
I vaguely remember it.
I think I was really young when that show came out, but it was really weird. And because it was on Nickelodeon, it's that I remember my parents having that dilemma of, like, do we let him watch this? I don't know. That might fuck him up for life. Which some would argue has. But then again, our cartoons are fucked up. Like, if you look at Our Real Monsters and compare it to Billy and Mandy, The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy is, I would consider, more calm art style wise, and storyline is still extremely childish, where All Real Monsters wasn't. There was no childish factor taken into consideration, or at least it doesn't feel that way. It was like, okay, we're going to scare the shit out of some people, and we're going to do this really disgusting shit, and it's going to be normal.
Right.
Whereas Billy and Mandy is like, we're going to go to hell, but that's okay. Which now makes me think if Billy and Mandy was more fucked up than I thought it was. I don't know. You watch the show. What do you think?
Which one?
Billy and Mandy.
I fucking have no idea what that is.
What?
Nope.
What? What?
Don't recognize it.
The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. You never watched that.
Nope.
Came on Cartoon Network. You would have been.
Nope. Promise you, I haven't.
You would have been maybe 17, 18.
Yeah, no. Didn't watch it.
Oh, sad. Go do yourself a favor and sit down and watch some of that. It's really good. Like Powerpuff Girls good.
See, I watched Powerpuff Girls a little bit. Didn't really watch a whole lot of it. I didn't watch a whole lot of cartoons as I got older.
Mm-hmm.
When in high school, about the majority of cartoons you could say that I watched would be like fucking like Dragon Ball Z a little bit, right?
Right. Well, that was venturing into anime at that point.
Right. I'm just saying.
Salutations.
Hey, Chris.
No, dear God. Ugh.
This motherfucker has never seen Billy and Mandy.
Huh?
Judging from him, he hasn't either.
Chris Corey
the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy,
Yes.
the cartoon?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
He's never watched it.
I mean, to be fair, it was probably a little bit... It was one of those things where, like, at that time, I think even I was kind of phasing out my Cartoon Network watching, so I didn't get to see a whole lot of it, but it was one of the last newer shows they put on that I thought was kind of funny.
Oh, that show was so good. Because it replaced Powerpuff Girls, right?
More or less, I guess.
Yeah, because what was it a part of? It was a part of the, like... It was kind of like Cartoon Network's New 22, where like Courage the Cowardly Dog came up as a full-blown show.
Oh yeah. They did a show called the Wada Cartoon Show, and then if episodes did well, they would launch their own series from that.
Yeah, it took a while for Courage to come out of that, but it finally did, and then they ruined it by giving Courage a voice.
What, Courage the Cowardly Dog?
Yeah, because in the Wada Cartoon Show, it was like a silent film because he didn't talk, and then when they got the series, he talked, because I guess they thought a series with the protagonist not speaking would not do well.
Yeah, and that was one of the shows that I remember they started going for, instead of like 2 or 3 episodes within the 30-minute show, or 2 or 3 shorts within a 30-minute show, they went for the full-blown, like, let's have a 30-minute show. Then again, I might be crazy.
No, there were some of the Wada cartoons that were really, really short, so they'd cram like 3 little mini stories in, kind of like Looney Tunes.
One of the last ones that I remember watching before I kind of phased out the majority of my cartoon watching was, what was it called? The Kids Next Door.
Oh, yeah.
That show was so good.
A lot of people loved that. I never got to see it, so I can't say one way or the other whether or not I liked it.
Basically, it was looking at... It did a really good job of taking a kid's imagination and showing you what they saw and still making everything okay. Like, we're going to say that the world is normal, but you're going to be inside the kid's imagination, so everything's exacerbated to its fullest. And it was a spy-based thing, and they had all these, like, crazy villains.
Yeah, I remember that it was, like, spy-based, and they had the Treehouse Fort thing.
That was insane. It was, like, freaking huge. And they were a part of a secret organization to help take down all of these things.
I'd say out of all the newer cartoons, because, like I said, I didn't really watch any of those. Even like stuff like Powerpuff Girls, I watched it a little bit, but not really a whole lot.
Which is interesting because you're about to step you're stepping hard into it because you have a son now, and like me and Chris, we're we just watch things at this point because we want to watch things.
Well, I mean, like I watched my favorite of the newer cartoon series that are out today that are like, I guess, my personal favorite, which I may or may not take shit for, is Phineas and Ferb. Phineas and Ferb.
No.
Phineas and Ferb is hilarious.
Yeah, it's been going on for a while.
Yeah, I know. Well, I mean, I watched it. I watched all the stuff that's on Netflix like years ago, but it's super hilarious because it has so many great references in it. So many great references.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of the cartoons that are being made today are being built with the parents in mind.
Well, of course they are. It's just
and
like
they're probably
rebooting movie series.
Yeah, well, they're being written by people too that grew up like liking the stuff that we like. So of course they're going to reference a lot of the things.
True,
but mostly when you see something like fucking Phineas and Ferb make a damn Red Dawn reference. Come on. Wolverines! One of the best references ever. Like, I know for a fact there's no kid on the planet that was watching that was like, what the hell does that even mean?
Oh. Well, they're probably laughing because I'm willing to bet that they placed it in a situation that's just in generally funny. But
I mean, it's at the end. Like, there's like a war type thing going on. It's at the end, which I mean, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But like, there's no context for why the hell he would be saying Wolverine. Like, none whatsoever. Okay. Like, I mean, it's just like, why would he say that? I mean, it's like Wolverines. It's literally the only way you would know that is if you've watched Red Dawn.
Gotcha.
Or at least knew about it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Red Dawn's not something that's so ingrained in modern popular culture that,
Yeah, it's one of those cheesy 80s movies that a lot of people have seen, but it's still not like an 80s classic.
Why not?
Because it's about fucking, like, Russians invading Kansas or some shit.
The whole United States.
Yeah, but isn't it like, doesn't the like movie take place in like the Midwest somewhere?
It takes place in like Idaho or Montana or some shit.
Wait, is that the movie they recently remade? That was
yeah,
like,
they remade with Chris Hemsworth, and I was like, wow, I have no desire to watch that at all.
Yeah, that movie, from what I understand, was horrible.
They even had to change it because originally it was going to be the Chinese, and they're like, wait a minute, that's a really big movie market, so we're going to make you Koreans. Nobody cares about the Koreans.
They have nuclear weapons, kind of.
Kim Jong-un.
Careful. He might hunt us down.
Good luck.
We recording yet?
Oh, yeah, we've been recording.
Happy Star Wars Day.
Yeah, it is
May
Star Wars Day.
May the 4th be with you. Speaking of May the 4th be with you, I'd be amiss if I didn't immediately jump to the cast revealed for episode 7, which gives me, like, I don't even want to tell you how much it gets my jimmies going.
Go on.
Yep.
Like, I'm running around with a partial fucking unflaccid penis all the time at this point.
Can you sit?
Yeah, I got my Star Wars chub too when I saw the announcement.
I mean, I read the list. It doesn't mean a whole lot to me at the moment.
That's because you suck.
Okay, the one thing I saw that really tickled me, because I just saw him at Comic-Con, and I don't know if he knew and wasn't allowed to say, but according to Peter Mayhew, he did not know that he was going to be coming back as Chewbacca because they hadn't contacted him yet.
Oh, okay.
Supposedly. So when they announce that he's back, I'm like, fuck yes. Because that was the one thing I was worried about, because I was worried they were going to recast Chewie.
You don't fuck with the Hugh, although I heard he's in kind of bad health, so I don't know how much he'll actually be doing. But
well, I just hope that they don't run into a Dumbledore situation.
No, I mean, at least with Chewbacca.
Because
you may not be able to find someone who can do the mannerisms the exact same way Peter Mayhew did, but you can certainly find someone to put it. You can find someone big enough to put in the suit, I guess. But
well, I mean, you can also kill him off, because what is the next 3 movies are supposed to be 10 years. Is that right?
I don't think they've specifically said.
Oh,
I've heard a
on
bunch
average.
of different rumors. One of the rumors I've heard was that the first movie is going to have more of the original cast, and as the new trilogy goes along, it's going to focus more and more on the like new generation.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just hearsay, really.
Yeah.
Gotcha. What else is giving you?
You got Max von Sydow. Just saying.
Mm-hmm.
Which that's awesome on like 12 different levels.
Right.
Prime villain actor too.
Yeah. Of course they've said the other guy supposedly is going to be the bad guy. Can't remember his damn name at the moment.
Oh, the young guy,
the guy from like Girls or whatever the damn TV show is.
The new girl? Oh.
No, Girls on HBO.
Oh, that show.
It's like kind of a skinny, pale looking dude, I think.
That's kind of like half of the
Brody
actors
something. I don't
these
remember
days.
his damn name. But I mean, first off, the original cast is back. You got Andy Serkis. Just fucking saying, Andy Serkis. What up?
Okay.
it's only going to be.
Do you know who the fuck that is, Wes?
No, I have no idea.
be
You have
awesome
no idea who that is.
No.
God damn you!
Gollum.
I hate you so much. Yes.
It's Gollum West and
Oh, okay, that guy.
King Kong from the newer King Kong, but he's actually done.
But mostly Gollum.
I mean,
Okay.
he's done a few roles in bigger movies where he's not done just motion capture. Like actually in King Kong, he played the cook guy that usually has like a cigar, I think.
Okay. I haven't seen either one of those movies. Well, I mean, I've seen Gollum, but okay. That's what
Andy Serkis just bring. I mean, he's phenomenal even when he's not doing motion capture. To me, everything I've seen him in, I really liked as a character actor.
Right.
But he is the gold standard for motion capture.
I
Yeah, he did Rise of the Planet of the Apes too.
Well,
Yeah.
is he a physical? Oh, well, I guess it is motion capture, so he's just okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, no, as soon as they were done with Lord of the Rings, Peter Jackson sat him down with a bunch of gorilla videos and was like, here's your new project. You get to be King Kong.
Fair. Fair enough.
My personal favorite Andy Serkis performance where he's not motion capture is Small, but I love him in The Prestige.
Oh, yeah. As Tesla's assistant. What's his
Oh.
name?
Okay.
Have you even seen The Prestige, Wes?
Yes.
I'm just checking.
That's the
I mean,
magic
I
movie,
take
right?
nothing for granted when it comes to you most of the time. I'll be honest with you, I'm not even certain that you have running water at your apartment. So
Someone thought that was funny.
it is Mike.
Oh, okay.
I like to have my own built-in laugh track.
I need to find someone who thinks I'm funny so I can have one of those.
Well, there's plenty
I thought-
of ex-girlfriends.
Oh wow.
Harsh.
Iceberg.
Well,
Iceberg.
It's a really short list if you're looking at the X's.
Oh, boom, dum, 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 combo breaker.
Oh, man.
That was a
That's
chain attack.
damn. Not a happy Star Wars day after all.
I mean, I guess I could go hunt down Vanessa, but that was like when you were in, what, 6th grade, 7th grade?
You dated Vanessa Hudgens? Wow, dude, you got some of that High School Musical money.
Who the hell did I ever date named Vanessa?
I don't know either. That's why I was saying that.
Thinking someone else, dude. I don't
No.
even know a Vanessa.
Did you have another slightly balding friend in high school we don't know about that wore awkwardly colored clothes and Darth Maul t-shirts and backpacks?
This was
Did you?
did
Did
have
you?
a Darth Maul backpack. It's
You
Star-
did have a Darth Maul backpack.
I know it's Star Wars Day, but there's no
You had a Darth
reason
Maul backpack. Don't deny it.
to spread the false.
You had one. You had
don't
one.
you don't even need the backpack to make it bad because let's see, I had like three
You listen to me right now. There was a backpack, goddammit.
different Darth Maul t-shirts, or at least 2 that I remember. Let's see, I had the pencils, I had the ink pens that were like lightsabers that you like the cap was shaped like the handle. which made the Darth Maul one interesting because you could stick it together and have a double pin for like some reason.
And also sexually proclivities as well. So, you know, hey, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
All I remember is when Episode 1 came out, Chris watched that movie like 27 times.
All I remember is he kept going back and he would only bother watching the damn lightsaber battle at the end. He's like, I didn't even go into. I heard Duel of the Fates playing. Let's go.
I watched the whole movie every time. I went to see it in the theater 12 times, and I
That's
used
why
to
your
have
favorite character is Jar Jar Binks.
I used to have 11 of the 12 ticket stubs too. I don't know how I lost one of them, but
Well, that's the only person I know that's beat me for my Serenity record on that.
How many times did you watch Serenity?
I watched Serenity like 6 times in a movie theater.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I remember, like, there was one week Chris went...
Gotta show your support, bro.
He went, like, 5 times in the same week.
yep.
And
I had to do that with Serenity because it was only playing for like 2 weeks.
True. But no,
He had like a year and a half to go watch episode 1.
Yeah, because that's when he used to live across the street from me, and I would keep going over there, and he's like,
Where's he at? At the movie theater.
Well, no, I would just go over there, and he's like, yep, just got back from Star Wars Episode 1, and I'm like, the hell?
Is that movie still out?
But then
Like,
again...
who the fuck drove you to see that? How did you get there? I
I gave a blowjob and hitchhiked.
It was
Sure, if it gets me 10 miles down the road to watch Star
I'll
Wars,
take a
episode
shot in the
1, I'll
mouth.
Take a shot in the mouth. I need to watch Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back again. I haven't seen that in a while.
And that is a true story, ladies and gentlemen. That's exactly how it happened.
I don't deny that.
Spits never swallows, though. Spits never
That
swallows.
explains why your hair was so fabulous during those time periods.
Mm-hmm.
It was all the extra protein
my
to keep it
secret.
going.
As Liz Fair would say, it's my secret beauty routine.
Is it that much of a secret? I'm
I
pretty
think
sure.
not.
I'm pretty sure that the internet has well documented it.
According to her song HWC, it is. Which apparently stands for Hot White Cum. Yes, we have a singer who has a song called Hot White Cum.
And
Let's
for
see.
change, it's not the Insane Clown Posse.
Yeah.
They would have called it like sputum or something.
Yep, Wes is the expert on that.
I remember when
I'm
thought...
impressed that you know what the word sputum is, quite honestly. So,
Somebody's in a really good mood.
just saying.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
It was my anniversary this weekend, sir. I'm in an excellent mood.
Ah, happy anniversary.
Oh, you were happy about that? Congratulations.
Yep,
You're the
yes,
only
well, you
one.
know, I didn't marry someone that hates me. I don't know what to say. I mean,
Oh, damn. Oh, damn.
Iceburn number 2. He's on a roll.
Player 2 defeated.
Nah, not true. She didn't hate you.
Oh, no, she
You
did.
just had like nothing. Well, she did at the end, but that's because you know.
In any case.
Yeah. No, May the 4th be with you, right? So, I love Star Wars. Always have. Always will.
Not my
The only
favorite
the only thing
trilogy,
that comes
but I get
close
it.
to it in my mind, I know this is sacrilege as far as, you know, people saying it. As far as a complete trilogy enjoy, but Lord of the Rings trilogy. I know there's like the big battle over which is better, but I enjoy them for 2 separate reasons. But there's still nothing on this earth cooler than a lightsaber, and you'll never convince me otherwise.
I don't know, man. That well, not lightsaber, but that the toasting knife from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. That thing was pretty damn cool.
Incorrect. But yeah, you know, I'm awaiting with bated breath. J.J. Abrams has always said out the gate when he was doing Star Trek that he grew up more of a Star Wars fan.
Mm-hmm.
And I think his sensibilities, how he tends to make things a little bit more fantastical, goes to more to Star Wars than it did with Star Trek, anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I was losing to a legendary card. But you know, I'm looking forward to it. Even like in Star Trek had a lot more fantastically kind of action adventure beats than Star Trek normally would have had when he did it, which made me enjoy it more because I happen to be more of a Star Wars fan anyway.
Right.
Plus, the way he did the mythology of the new Star Trek series even echoes a Star Wars type sensibility to me. Mm-hmm. So I'm really looking forward to it. Cast is back. I am deliciously enjoying tasting the salty tears that all the expanded universe fans did when they were like, "Yeah, so this doesn't exist anymore because it's not canon." And they're like, "What? No, but isn't this going to happen?" And they're like, "Guys, we've been telling you since like 1983 or before that this was only canon as long as we decided to allow it to be canon, which was not at all really." And so they're crying because now they have 45 years of books that are like an alternate universe.
Good. The Star Wars universe shouldn't have always been one universe. It should have been alternates. Like the Ninja Turtles universe is broken up between each
it was never an alternate universe until like right
now. That's what I'm talking
about. Yeah, they just like invalidated all of it. So like, and I get why they did that. And even if I had read all that shit, I don't think I would be
into it.
Yeah, I don't think I would be very mad about it because then that pretty much ties the hands of screenwriters going in to make new movies. That's why the J.J. Abrams Star Trek movies like did their alternate timeline thing where it's like, the Spock came back from the future and it's fucked everything up. Like because that pretty much lets them do whatever. Because
honestly, I think
you're not beholden to everything that happened in the old shit.
Mm-hmm. I think what'll end up happening with the new series, and I might be completely wrong, because obviously it's the trilogy, plus they're doing the standalones, plus there's going to be even more Star Wars movies after like the new trilogy, quote unquote, new storyline.
Wait, but the Clone Wars and all that stuff did happen in this,
yes,
right?
Clone Wars, the cartoons, which means the Clone Wars cartoon, the new Rebels cartoon that's coming out, and the movies are basically all this canon. The video games don't even count, I don't think.
What about the Anakin movie, that digital one where he had his own like Padawan or whatever?
That would be the Clone Wars.
Yeah, that's
okay. I didn't know if that was a part of it.
Movie. Yeah, that was a movie they made to lead into the series. Okay. Yeah.
I'm a little bit behind on my Star Wars.
By the way, I haven't watched it all, but all the Clone Wars is now on Netflix, so you can watch it all.
That. Yeah, I was going to start that soon, because I heard it gets pretty good later on.
Yeah, I heard, like, the first season is kind of janky, because I've watched almost all the first season, because I bought it, because I got it for, like, $15 on Amazon one day. Mm-hmm. But, I think after about season 2, going into season 3, from what I understand, it kind of finds its feet really well, and basically kind of captures the same feeling as the movies, a lot of people say. A lot of people say it's the same kind of, au revoir, I guess you could say.
Yeah. Well, okay, let me ask you this. When episode 1, 2, and all that came out, there was a lot of hate at the same time, along with a lot of love. But now that we've had them for a while, almost 10 years? Over 10 years?
Well, episode 1 came out in 99.
Okay, so we're rolling up on 10 years for all three of them. Are we really that disappointed with the old ones?
You mean disappointed with the newer trilogy, episode 1, 2, and 3?
Yeah, because, I mean, there's all the bitches, like, with episode 1 about, like, well, this was made for toys and da-da-da-da-da. But
here's my issue with the original trilogy. It's not the overall story, it's the way it was carried out.
Go on.
Yeah.
I thought there was an interesting story to be had there, and you can see bits and pieces of it. Mm-hmm. But I thought Lucas gets a hold of ideas. Lucas gets a hold of ideas that he really likes, and he doesn't want to let go of. Mm-hmm. And that damages things. What I mean by
racing.
Well, I mean, he gets a hold of stuff. There's some really good articles in the last couple of Game Informers, since LucasArts kind of went down to shitter, about games that they were going to make. Like, one of them was going to end up being like a Darth Maul origin game, and then Lucas got a hold of this character that he really, really liked from the expanded universe, Legacy comic. And like he really wanted Darth Maul to interact with her. Well, the problem was is she exists like hundreds and hundreds of years after Darth Maul. And so how would he do that? And like basically he was like, well, we need to find a way to make them meet. And he gets a hold of shit.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, oh, this is the best idea ever. I can't possibly exist without you doing this. And so it makes issues because then you have to like change whatever the hell it is you're doing to fit what Lucas wants. Now, in that case, it's bad because you're having to retrofit your shit to fit in this random whim he has. But when it comes to him, his random whims just end up straight on screen, which causes issues. I mean, look at the original trilogy.
Right.
You know, A New Hope, with Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi. Lucas only wrote and directed one of those.
Mm-hmm.
The first one. After that, he just like wrote / consulted or whatever, and he didn't direct it because he can't direct his way out of a paper box.
But he can write the shit out of something.
Well, no, I think Lucas has good ideas but bad execution.
I think George Lucas can write a good story. Like if you're writing the basic framework for a story, I think Lucas can come up with a fantastic story with great ideas. The guy who thought of a lightsaber and the Force and shit like that, I mean, those are great ideas. But yeah, when it comes down to like the little nitty-gritty details of a plot, I think that's when he gets lost, because then you end up with pod racing and
fridge.
Well,
you end up with the Clone Wars, which was a mystery ever since like it gets mentioned in fucking.
It's such a cool idea behind it. Then you're like, wait,
you're like, wait, it's about cloning Boba Fett's clone dad, and they're all like basically stormtrooper. Wow, okay.
Because like to begin with, I was thinking, it's going to be like a war between like Jedi clones. How bad would that be?
Like, which one's the real Yoda? Like, I mean, just. Yeah, and then you find out it's basically clone troopers, and it was kind of disappointing.
Well,
the thing about the Clone Wars series, I've heard, I haven't, because I obviously didn't get that far enough into it yet, but I heard that it does something very needed that the new trilogy was kind of supposed to do and didn't really do very successfully. Is that it kind of sells you on Anakin as a badass, as a hero.
Oh yeah.
And
right, because all of the stuff that makes him a hero, they flat out fucking skip. They're like, it's the Clone Wars. Then number 3, they're like, they're ending, and you're like, what the fuck, guys?
You missed the entire war, pretty much.
Yeah, because that really pissed me off too. Like they set it up, all that long, like they've been doing.
And why is Anakin all
And then
cried?
they don't even show it to you because they're like, haha, fuck off.
And they never. And the entire time, Anakin's just all cryy. Never badasses up.
I mean, there are moments that I think that Hayden Christensen was directed pretty well, or did pretty well with Anakin, but overall, and I don't know how much I blame him, because he kind of strikes me as an actor who can turn out a pretty decent performance if he has somebody basically puppeteering him. But yeah, George Lucas is not that guy. And as such, I think we ended up with a pretty subpar Anakin performance, which is the main thing that weakens.
You're like an angel.
Yeah, I mean, to me, that's the main thing that weakens the newer trilogy is a lack of a decent Anakin.
It gets some things phenomenally well.
Oh yeah,
Obi-Wan Kenobi is fucking awesome.
Yeah, Ewan McGregor because Obi-Wan was always he was a cool character, because Alec Guinness has presence. He was a cool character in the original trilogy, but, he's one that you wanted to know more about. Like, how was this guy when he was a younger Jedi going around? And then you get Ewan McGregor, and you're like, fucking A right. Yeah, Obi-Wan's a badass.
And they killed Qui-Gon, which is... I'm still back and forth on how cool Qui-Gon actually was.
Qui-Gon's alright, like, especially in the sense that he was...
I wish they'd have done more with him.
After that.
Instead, like they didn't want to go the whole Force Ghost route for whatever damn reason, even though they allude to it very heavily by the end of the third movie, and he tells you, I've made contact. I think if that actually had him coming back and played up that whole thing more, as opposed to like we don't really want to bring Liam Neeson back and pay him. I guess I don't know.
Yeah,
because he has a certain set of skills. He could have defeated the entire empire. Just saying.
I don't know who the Dark Lord of the Sith is, and I don't know where he is. But when I find him, I will kill him. And then he'd be like force karate chopping people in the throat.
Yeah, as well as
that'd be awesome.
Possibly beating the shit out of wolves randomly throughout the movie with broken glass knuckles. Like I could see
one more time
mini
spray.
I can see him just in the middle of a lightsaber battle with Darth Maul, and then out of nowhere, just a wolf just jumps in and he goes karate chop, and then continues fighting.
Yeah, no, I like Qui-Gon as a character. I mean, he's not meant to be like a badass warrior character. That's not the type of Jedi.
He's a sage.
I mean, he's
a
more...
Jedi consular. Oh, can't say that anymore. Extended universe.
Yeah, no, like, I was never one of the people that were like, the new trilogy's just fucking terrible, like, when it came out, because I went to see all three of them in the theater.
We were also kind of kids.
Huh?
We were kind of kids, too. So it was just...
George Lucas has always said that's who Star Wars is aimed at.
Yeah.
I still watch them, though. Like, I own them, I watch them, I enjoy them. It's just there's... It's kind of like, a recent movie I watched that gets held back by things that aren't done well at all. Like, because there's so much gold in it, but then the gold's, like, tarnished by turds.
The new
like the Amazing Spider-Man 2, which could have been phenomenal, but then there's so much stuff in it that's just so janky that you... Like, I couldn't rate that movie above, like... a 6, maybe a 7.
Are you going to write a review on that?
That's my same issues I have with it. I ended up liking it more than I thought I was going to like it.
Yeah, I did too, to be fair.
Because I still think that the stuff that it does well, it does phenomenally well.
Yeah. The relationship stuff with him and Aunt May and with him and Gwen. Because,
Spider-Man.
Yeah, his Spider-Man is still perfect. Yeah, his Peter Parker's okay, but his Spider-Man is perfect.
Well, people have issues with his Peter Parker, I think, because he's not like the bookworm nerd. But to me, his Peter Parker is really accurate to kind of who Peter ends up becoming. They just kind of put him there without him going through all the shit. Because later on in the comics, that's Peter. Peter's not like he's not like a bookworm anymore. He's still a nerd, but
yeah, and it's Peter Parker for 2014, not for 1990. So I mean, there would be some personality difference with someone who grew up with computers and cell phones and someone who didn't.
Right.
But yeah, no, and I think his Peter's it's really good. And I like that the movie shows him still experimenting and playing with shit and tooling with science and stuff. I fucking love the scene when he saves the kid from the bullies and he's like helping the kid with the science project and shit. I was
about to tear up a little bit on that one. I was like, Spider-Man.
I love that shit because that is Spider-Man, and I'm not a huge Spider-Man fan. I like Spider-Man, but I'm not like somebody who's just been in love with the comics. To me, those kinds of things got it right. But like, okay, the main thing that kind of like takes you out of the movie the whole time is the fucking score, and I don't know if I can blame Hans Zimmer for it. Because I don't know.
I was going to say, that's might be my issue with all the Spider-Man movies in the Raimi trilogy, is that they seem very afraid to give a very iconic superhero bombastic score to things, and I don't know why.
I don't think it's... In this one, it's not the lack of an iconic score, it's the, like, fucking Sanford and Son theme that they give...
Oh, for Otis?
Yeah.
The Otis theme from Superman. It's the damn Otis theme from Superman, like Richard Pryor's theme. Yeah. This character's funny.
What the fuck are they doing? I didn't really like that apparently the screenwriters thought that they could just combine Edward Nygma from Batman Forever and Dr. Manhattan.
Exact same plot line. Yeah.
that Edward Nygma from Batman Forever and like Dr. Manhattan, and that nobody would notice.
I said that to Michelle last night. I was like, that's the exact same storyline of the Riddler.
But no, like, okay, I fucking hated Jamie Foxx's, like, pre-Electro. I forget, what's the guy's name? Max Dillon?
Max Dillon.
Yeah, fucking hate it. Hate it. It's like the quintessential, I don't know what a nerd is, so let's just, make a nerd character by giving him a pocket protector and bad hair. Like, oh, it's so goddamn bad.
Well, see, that didn't even bother me that much. I mean, I didn't care for it. What bothered me is the fact that, you know what, I didn't have enough time to hate it, because let's be honest, how many scenes does Electro get in the movie? 5? Think about it. You get his intro scene with Spider-Man, all right, the scene where he becomes Electro, or like where he's, killed or whatever, all right, then you get the scene where, you get the fight scene, the first, fight scene where he becomes Electro. You get the scene where they're torturing him. They're experimenting on a guy made of electricity with electricity, because that seems bright.
You get the scene
and then the final fight, and that's it.
Well, you get the scene where Osborn springs him.
Yeah,
and then the scene where they go to Oscorp.
But I'm really 100% positive he has less than 30 minutes of screen time in the whole movie. It really feels that way.
That being said, even though he does kind of come off as a Dr. Manhattan ripoff in his character design. And the way he can kind of materialize and shit. Overall, I liked him once he was Electro.
Gotta get there first, though.
Yeah, no, but his Max Dillon character is just terrible.
My issue, I guess my biggest issue is the same thing that I had with Spider-Man 3, which is that it seems like the studio is like, all right, we got to get these characters in because we want to make some bank by making a Sinister Six movie. Let's put them all in. Right?
Yeah, but
Electro and Harry and the Green Goblin, in order for those story arcs to really be done any justice, I really think you have to have separate movies for them. Harry literally becomes the Green Goblin just long enough to, spoiler alert, kill Gwen Stacy, and then it's the end of the movie, and you're like, well, what the fuck was that shit?
No, I don't feel like the Harry story was done much justice at all. At least they don't kill him off, so he'll come back for more
they got
movies.
to have him be the Sinister Six leader.
But, yeah, I feel like, I don't know, I still feel like as much stuff as they forced them to cram in this movie, I still feel like it was executed much better than Spider-Man 3.
Well, that's not hard to accomplish.
I don't know why. I don't know if it's because Mark Webb's the type of person where if you give him way too much, he's just going to be like, well, I'm going to do the best I can. Because some people are like that, and I get that personality type. But it seems like with Spider-Man 3, they did that to Raimi, and Raimi was like, well, I'm just going to make
you guys
a pile of shit because you're not going to let me do the movie I want, so I'm going to fuck it up. And actually, I can't blame Raimi for that because that's my personality. If you give me 18 million things and tell me to do them all, I'm just gonna fuck it up on purpose at that point. But yeah, no, and just like the Star Wars newer trilogy, some of the moments that are gold are they're broken because of mishandling. The final fight scene between Electro and Spider-Man is visually fantastic. It's one of the coolest fight scenes, and it makes up for the lizard being kind of lame from the first movie. Because really, that was the only big problem I had with the first movie is that the lizard was just kind of a lame villain. But then it's ruined by the fact that every time Electro's on the screen, apparently one of his powers is awful dubstep. And they're fighting in fucking
itsy bitsy spider.
Max Dillon's character in this movie invented this power grid that's basically these circular tube things that make magic energy. They don't really explain it because it's just a plot device that in the end doesn't really matter. But anyway. Here's why they matter, because they're gigantic cylinders, right? And when one of your powers is to make an awful dubstep soundtrack anytime you're fighting Spider-Man, you have to make the little bars look like equalizers. Why do they look like equalizers? Is there any logic to why there's little lights going up and down on them like it's in a fucking Daft Punk music video? No, there's not, because some dumbass thought it would look cool. And fucking then, like, when he's, like, hitting Spider-Man against the fucking tubes, it makes noise, and just like Chris said, he plays the fucking itsy-bitsy spider while he's hitting Spider-Man on tubes, and I'm like, come on. Like, this fight scene would be fantastic, but then someone, like, came in and Joel Schumachered the fuck out of it. They were like, man, let's, you know what movies were really cool that we should take some ideas from? The Joel Schumacher Batman movies.
You know who my favorite villain was in the whole movie? The Rhino.
Yeah, because even though he was cheesy and overacting the fuck out of it,
supposed to be, though.
I know how the Rhino is.
Did the Rhino play?
Huh?
Did the Rhino play in the movie? I haven't seen it yet.
No, not. He's kind of like an end cap character. He's basically Russian gangster guy in the first scene,
Right.
and then like at the end of the movie, he comes back right before the credits because he's the very first of the Sinister Six, basically.
Right.
And he actually has the Rhino suit in the final scene, but it's not like a real fight. Like the movie basically ends on like him and Spider-Man running at each other.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, it like I would maybe
I
give
personally
them.
thought those were, even though the last one's not really a real fight. I personally thought that that was the those two are the best fights. They're the two most comic book Spider-Man fights. The first one, the scene going, after him on the streets or whatever. And then the last one, even though it's just the beginning of it, like that was pure comic book Spider-Man. The Electro fight was really, really good, but like it tried too hard, I think. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Okay.
I think I don't know. I don't think that it tried too hard. I think that they mixed it up by having some dumbass decide that it needed to be a music video too. So it's like, is it a fight? Are we selling a Daft Punk album? Like, what are we doing? But no, that very first fight when like fucking I'm not even going to try to pronounce this character's name, but Paul
Alexei
Giamatti.
Savinovich.
Yeah,
Like
when
Savinovich.
the fucking Rhino is in the truck
Fucking Rhino.
with the stolen plutonium. There's some
when he's catching the plutonium, that is pure comic book. That shit was so good to me.
Yeah, I liked when he's like doing the catching of the plutonium, but that's the only part in the movie that the CGI kind of took me out of it because I'm like, ooh, Rubber Man.
Yeah, but I mean, I'll forgive it though because that was
Yeah,
pure.
I forgive it for the same reason because it was pure Spider-Man. Like when he shows up on the side of the truck and knocks on the window, he's like, "Hello." Just like,
roll it down, and he rolls it down. That's my favorite part. It's like, dude, it takes time to roll down the window to talk to him.
like that shit's pure Spider-Man. And yeah, it's goofy and silly, and I don't expect the movies to be The Dark Knight by any means, because honestly, we see what happens when they try to make all super. You end up with Man of Steel like murdering people. And that was there's a big note that I wanted to point out, and Kate disagrees with me because of the scene in the beginning. He lets like a bunch of cars get hit and shit, and she's like, "Those people probably died." And I'm like, I don't know.
He goes out of his way to save people.
But for the most part, Spider-Man goes out of his way in this movie to save people. He saves like a whole bus full of people. He's like, there's a scene where they go into fucking freeze time slow-mo shit to show him like grounding electricity and pulling people's hands away from shit so they don't get shocked. Like,
and the reality is, even if that's your complaint, all right, you can't save everybody, but damn if you didn't make the effort.
Yeah, I know, but yeah, that's what I said. I'm
Well,
like, look, there are scenes that actively go out of their way showing him to save people, as opposed to Man of Steel, where he's like pile driving Zod through skyscrapers, and it's like, oh, yeah, there like 500 people. Yeah. There's like another 1,000 people. Thanks, Clark. Like, add to the body count here. Come on, guy.
Doesn't bother me.
This is why we stuck your ass in
much.
Kansas, where population is 47.
That doesn't bother me so much because
I mean, that bothers me because he's fucking Superman. Superman saved. Okay, see, to me, what makes Superman is that he saves people, followed by the fact that he can punch the shit out of something. And this movie, like, reversed those. They're like, well, let's focus on the fact that he can punch the shit. Because that's what the average 47 IQ American see.
Well,
and
that's not the part.
It's
I
bad.
mean,
Like, that's the reason I like Superman Returns. There's a whole scene of him flying around Metropolis, stopping people getting killed from shit falling on them, and fucking gas lines exploding.
I'm back.
And I know people hate that movie, but to me, that got the Superman formula more right than like any other Superman movie.
I don't hate Superman Returns.
Hey, someone else. We're like the two.
I don't hate it. I do think it was a missed opportunity compared to what it could be, but I don't hate it.
I'm indifferent. I enjoyed it.
I thought it got held up a little bit by trying to be like, look, Donner Films, look, Donner Films. You know?
Yeah, I think it was a little too referential to the Richard Donner movies.
The only thing I didn't like about the movie in general was there did not need to be a kid in that motherfucking movie. Like that's my one complaint. I was like, really, for reals?
But it takes place after everything, right? And the new Superman takes place before everything.
The new Superman has nothing to do with those.
Okay.
This is a reboot.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I got my shit confused. These things happen.
You gotta know this shit, man. You're on a nerd podcast.
I don't know. I have a feeling DC's gonna horribly misstep what they're trying to do with the Marvel or with.
Oh, I know they are, and I'm gonna taste their salty tears.
I think they're horribly misstepping by trying to Nolanize the DC universe, because Christopher Nolan's approach works with Batman, but how the fuck do you make his approach work with, like, Aquaman or Martian Manhunter?
Or anybody that's not ground level?
You can't make those characters super realistic and super dark and moody, because it just comes off as, like, really disingenuous and weird. I feel like I'm failing to see in my head how it's going to work out for them, but they could surprise me. Interesting note. In Spider-Man, they have, like, in the middle of the credits, there's no after credit scene. In the middle of the credits, the X-Men scene,
contractual obligation.
Well, yeah, no, here's what I'm wondering, like, because that's Sony and X-Men is Fox.
Oh no, I just told you what it was. You don't know why that's there?
Yeah, I don't. I was gonna ask.
Okay, Mark Webb, he did 500 Days of Summer, and he did it for Fox. Well, he has a contract with Fox, and what happened was he has another movie he was supposed to make for them. And after he made the first Amazing Spider-Man and it was successful, of course he was immediately put in the negotiations to make Spider-Man 2, 3, whatever, right? Well, he still had a contract with Fox, and Fox was like, well, fucking, we're not letting you out of your contract. And so they went to negotiations, and basically what they came up with as a fucking agreement, a compromise, was that basically they had to promote their X-Men movie for free at the end of Spider-Man in order to let him make Spider-Man. It was literally a contractual obligation. No, there's not going to be any mergers. No, there's no crossovers. No, that would actually kind of be cool if they did it right, which they probably wouldn't. No, it's literally just because of money.
Okay.
Sad face.
Yeah. Yeah, because I had hope, like, because Fox is the one that owns Fantastic Four right now, right?
Yes. Fox owns Fantastic Four and X-Men.
So I was hoping that meant, like, maybe they would do, like, a Fantastic Four Spider-Man crossover, because I don't think an X-Men Spider-Man crossover.
That one would make sense.
Because they're skewing the new cast really, really young with Fantastic Four, and I'm like, that would be cool. Have a, crossover with them possibly. But okay. Well, that kind of shot that dream down, I guess.
Yeah.
No,
it's like maybe the studios are coming together. No.
As long as Fox exists,
what makes me sad is the way, like, these fucking contracts work and the way people, like, owning the rights works. Like, the part that makes me sad is that it means, like, in our lifetime we'll be 60 by the time
you'll never see, unless some crazy shit happens, you'll never see Spider-Man, Fantastic Four, any of those back into the Marvel fold with the rest of the Marvel universe, because Sony and Fox will just throw out some kind of fucking movie before the contractual obligation runs out so they can keep the rights to it.
Yeah.
Because that's how it works. As long as you make a movie within whatever the time period is, you get to keep the rights to it in perpetuity, basically.
That seems incredibly short-sighted to me, to sell, like, the entire future of the character away like that. There should be a limit, like 10 movies or something like that before it reverts.
To my
back.
understanding, that's how it works, though. I mean, like,
oh no, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm
Yay!
just saying like that just seems like an incredibly bad deal for Marvel. Like,
well, you got to keep in mind,
I guess
Marvel was on like the footsteps of going bankrupt.
yeah,
These things are being sold. I mean, they were bankrupt. I just read an interview with Brian Michael Bendis that talked about when he got there, right before he started Ultimate Spider-Man and stuff, and he walked into the Marvel bullpen. They had like file cabinets up against the wall. They were selling the file cabinets. They didn't have electricity onto the whole building. Like, they had computers that were unplugged. It was like 3 people sitting around one table. He was like, it looked, I mean, you know, like he literally said when I got there, he's like, I thought I might be writing the last Spider-Man comic.
Holy crap! How did they survive?
They were in the death throes basically, and Ultimate Spider-Man kind of helped save them. The Ultimate Spider-Man comic book, the Ultimate line.
Oh, okay.
That got them buoyant enough, I guess, until you know the Marvel movies took off, like Iron Man or whatever. They because you remember they partnered with Paramount.
Oh well,
originally.
Yeah, I also.
And then of course Disney bought them.
Well,
and then it's just been a fucking money parade.
Yeah, I forgot that Marvel was independent. Like, they didn't have any backing support. DC was picked up by Warner Brothers a long time ago.
Oh, yeah. Warner Brothers owned DC for like a bajillion years.
Yeah. I forgot about that part. I forgot Marvel was on its own. DC,
yeah, it was still just a comic company.
Yeah, DC was had the support of Warner Brothers the entire time, so they could.
And now that Disney owns them, they'll never go away. And then Disney knows how to make money because they just fucking Disney Infinity 2.0 with Marvel characters, and I'm just like, shut up and take my money.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, because Harrison's been asking for Skylanders lately, and he really can't play games enough. Like, I downloaded Mickey Castle of Illusion because it's free on PlayStation.
Yeah, I got that. Yeah.
And he's been playing that. And by play, I mean running back and forth repeatedly, not doing things correctly. Because it's painful for me to watch because I love video games.
Yeah.
But, you know, he wants to play those. He's been asking for, like, Skylanders because he saw the commercials for it, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah.
And,
there was a huge sale, and I picked up.
Well, I already have the Disney Infinity.
And so I'm not going to be doing that. I'm going to just be buying, because they're going to release it for PlayStation 4. And I'm just going to be getting the Disney Infinity 2.0 so I can play with my Marvel figures.
Yeah, they've, like, as soon as I'm back in money, like...
I was like, what's that? I need to have some kind of random-ass, like, Pokemon creature? No thanks. I'll take Iron Man. Lick my cock.
Well, and too, you could still go buy the Disney ones that he likes or that you like, because I've got a bunch of Disney.
But let's some of them was awesome.
I can let you borrow Skylanders.
But speaking of comics, yesterday...
What just happened? Chris?
Speaking of comics, something?
Yesterday, Free Comics Day. Did either of you guys go anywhere?
Nope.
Yesterday is Free Comics. Oh, did I cut out or something?
Yeah, I've been sticking to my guns. I have not set foot in a comic book store in a great many years.
Hard to go and spend money, huh?
Staying strong. I know what my addiction is.
Yeah.
So,
your addiction comes in words and on paper.
Had to cut it off.
Yeah, I got they were only allowing you to take up to 10 free comics yesterday.
Whatever, lame.
One of them's a hardcover book from the publishing company that does Mouse Guard. So it's got a Mouse Guard story in it and some other stories like the Labyrinth. I guess they got the publishing rights to a bunch of
What was Marvel's this year? I didn't even check. I don't even look at Newsarama anymore because Newsarama's gotten really annoying in the fact that they don't just post stories for you to read, articles. Like, everything has to be a video. I don't want to watch a fucking video. Sometimes I just like reading the article.
Hey, videos are still infinitely better than like this web trend lately of places like the top 10 things, and you have to like hit a button and scroll through this lame ass slideshow for like the 10 things. It's like, why can't you just put it on one fucking page? Oh, I know, because it reloads different ads on every page, fuckers. God damn, I hate the internet now. But no, let's see. I got Mouse Guard. There's a company called Red Giant that put out a bunch of free ones, and I grabbed those up because those are kind of, some of those sounded kind of cool, because they're like indie titles. Marvel had a Guardians of the Galaxy book there. Nice. Zenoscope had a Grimm Fairy Tales book there. There's Project Black Sky. DC had a Teen Titans Go book. It also had the New Futures End from DC, and Kate got some different ones, but I don't know where she put them. Also, David Marquez, the artist on the newer Ultimate Spider-Mans, he was there, so we got a poster signed by him.
That's awesome.
So yeah, it was a pretty cool trip. Like, got an autograph, got a bunch of free stuff to read.
He's been drawing the Miles Morales Spider-Man.
Yeah. I forgot. They had some other people there signing stuff, but the lines were kind of ridiculous. And for some reason, like, no one was in his line, so we're like, fuck, yeah, get an autograph. Shit.
Yeah, no, I forgot about it.
I wanted to read the run that they're working on with that Ultimate Spider-Man. It sounded pretty cool.
I got it. Well, obviously I got it. What I've done with comics in the past few years is I'll just wait after like a year or two, and I just go and download like 2 years worth, 3 years worth, or whatever, and like binge read them over the course of a few days. I haven't done that recently though. So
yeah, I have to buy them in trades because I can't do like. I hate interrupted stories. Like, I hate picking up an issue 1 and then having to wait for issue 2.
Well, I'll buy an issue 1. I'll buy an issue 1 to just read it to see if I'm interested in it. Because normally, if issue 1 doesn't get me interested, I'm not going to pick up 2 or 3. But I'll pick up an issue 1 and then wait. If I think it was really cool, I'll be like, "Oh, this was really cool." Pass it off to somebody. The last kind of comic that I tried to follow issue by issue was one called Hero by Night. It was put out by Platinum Comics, which I don't think exists anymore. But they used to have this contest where you would submit your comic idea, it would get voted on, and whoever won would get a 12-issue contract. And the concept of Hero by Night was there used to be this old superhero from like the 1960s or 50s or something like that. And he was always fighting this guy from world domination, etc., etc. Your atypical superhero story, and then he just disappears. This other it cuts into the 2000s, and this guy winds up with this apartment complex from his like dead grandmother or something like that, and he stumbles onto the Hero by Night's cave, and he's like, "I'm gonna bring this superhero back." No, he just like he finds the suit, finds the power source, and is just like, "I'm gonna go be a superhero," and he starts trying to be superhero again. And it apparently the old villain is still active, and he's like, "My arch nemesis is back," because it had kind of a Green Lantern sort of thing where there was a good ring and a bad ring, so they activate each other, etc., etc. And it shot off. There was a 4-part miniseries, and then there was 3 comics after that. And as far as I know, the comic was shut down. The last comic was the new Hero by Night met the old Hero by Night, who was at a retirement home. But it was a really cool idea.
Yeah, no, I like. That's one of the things I've liked about going to Comic-Con is like you get to see what kind of newer ideas that the smaller books have. And some of them were pretty interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've actually gotten more like the more interesting free stuff and little books that only cost like $1, $2 at Comic-Con that I've found the most interesting have been ones that aren't even about superheroes.
Yeah, I forgot about it. There was a band that I'm friends with that was going to be playing at it, and Lindsay's had a bunch of friends already going, and I just totally blanked on the fact that it was yesterday.
Oh, Free Comic Day?
Yeah.
I
have things I need to do.
We were busy. I mean, we had to go. Oh, when we went and saw Spider-Man, we were looking for. I had to go buy some stuff to kind of finish part of one of my anniversary gifts for Michelle, and I just didn't have time, and Free Comic Day doesn't help me out because what's one free comic going to do? That's just like sending a heroin addict into a damn fucking drug house. I know my limitations.
Yeah.
I don't know. For me, like, I went in knowing that I didn't really have money to spend anyway, so for me it was just an opportunity to grab 10 free things to read.
See if any of it's good. Yeah, no, I went to, there's a store up here, Edward McKay's, I think I took you there, Chris. It's basically a giant used bookstore, but I go there and I'll go in with like $30 and buy just a bunch of trays because people trade in old tray books. And one of the ones that Lindsay started reading is called Doll and Creature. It's a Image comic thing, and it looks like it takes place in a future world or in an alternate world where like Frankenstein is a real thing and the Mummy is a real thing and shit like that. So
Okay.
It's kind of interesting. She's gotten about halfway through it, but I plan on reading that soon. Picked up, I don't know, I spent like $10, $15 there and walked away with like 4 trays. So
yeah, I found a pretty good deal on eBay because I was looking for the first Aquaman from the New 52, the first edition of that has like the first 6 issues or whatever. And
First
I was
time
having
she ever said that. I'm looking for Aquaman.
I was having a hard time tracking it down, and because like I could find the soft cover version, but the other 2 I had were hardcover, and like I'm OCD about like having mixed covered editions. Yeah, I know it's weird, but I found an eBay auction that had Aquaman, the first one of that, first one of Batman, the first one of Detective Comics Batman, Catwoman, Green Lantern, Justice League. Like, it had 6 or 7 of them all together, and the total auction was like $30.
that's
So
not
I was
bad.
like, fuck yeah, because those are like, $20, $25 a piece on eBay or on Amazon.
Yeah, no, I'm still trying to get my the last issue of the Kingdom Come series.
But yeah, no, like they got me hooked. Fucking Jeff Johns got me hooked on Aquaman. The new run it's really good to me.
John's awesome.
Yeah, no, I was really excited when I went into Things from Another World yesterday because I saw a bunch of like Brian Michael Bendis stuff out, and I'm like, is he gonna be here to sign stuff?
No.
It was David Marquez, which is still cool because I actually like having the artist sign artwork. But yeah, I was for a minute I was like super excited. Like, woo! Bendis is gonna be here.
Well, guys, the 4th is in front of us, and we have been well over an hour. Overall, it's Star Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always Star Wars.
May the 4th be with everyone.
Indeed.
.com.
Hold on.
Will also,
Hold on. I wasn't recording yet.
God damn you, West.
You were listening to the Nerd Method podcast with West,
Chris.
And Chris.
Thank you for listening. If you want to get in contact with us, you can find us at the Nerd. Oh, fuck.
Super professional.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, go.
You can find us at thenerdmethod.com, which is our also blog site, but it will have our social media as well: Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, Google+. So like us, subscribe, share our stuff. We appreciate it.
And if you would like to email us, you can email us at nerdmethodpodcast@gmail.com. Thanks very much for listening.